Hello and welcome back to Cowboys Insiders. Everybody, we truly appreciate each and every one of you tuning in from wherever you are around the world today. If you are a passionate Dallas Cowboys fans who lives and believes American team, then you are absolutely in the right place here on Cowboys Insiders. Here on Cowboys Insiders, we bring you the latest Dallas Cowboy news, a breaking news, a trade rumor, NFL draft coverage, and free agencies move. And also, we don't forget our players, analysis, and everything happening inside the organization on the Dallas Cowboy. Before we get started, make sure you hit that on subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss any important Cowboys update throughout the off-season and upcoming NFL season in the National Football League. And to all of our loyal subscribers, thank you so much for incredible support you continue to show these Cowboys Insiders. The Cowboys community keep growing stronger every day because of the fans that like this platform that related to the Cowboys Insiders. Now the Cowboys Nation, there is a lot of happening in the Dallas line now, from a major roster moves and exciting young rookies to a big expectation surrounding a Dak Prescott, a Micah Parsons, a CeeDee Lamb, and this rebuilt a Cowboys defense. The pressure is officially building as the team prepares for what could become one of the most important seasons in a recent franchise history. So the big question everyone is asking right now is simple. This question is that can the Cowboys finally turn all this talent or hype and off-season momentum into a really Super Bowl run? That's exactly what we are going to break down today. Go and so sit back, relax, and let's dive straight into the latest Dallas Cowboy news right here on Cowboys Insiders. The Dallas Cowboys are one of the most talked about teams in the entire of the NFL, and there is a massive amount of excitement, pressure, and uncertainty surrounding the franchise as they prepare for the 2026 NFL season. After years of disappointing playoff exit, inconsistent performances, and frustration from the fans who believe the team has and relationship dispute having a talented roster, the Cowboys are entering a new era that many people believe could completely reshape the future of the organization. Throughout this offseason, the Cowboys front office has been extremely active, making an important change in coaching, the NFL draft, a free agencies, and a roster development in the Cowboys Insiders. Team owner Jerry Jones has once again made it clear that his expectations remain the same, bringing another Super Bowl championship back to the Dallas. The pressure inside the organization have never been higher because the Cowboys fans are tired of hearing promises every year without seeing a deep playoff success. One of the biggest stories surrounding the Dallas lineup is the complete rebuild and transformation of the defense during the previous season. The Cowboys struggled badly at the times on defense, especially against the late game situation where they failed to stop opposing offenses during a critical drives. Those defensive struggles become one of the most biggest reasons for the Cowboys failure to compete consistently against a narrowed team. So because of those problems, the Dallas made several major coaching adjustments and brought in new defensive minds to reshape the identity of the team. So the coaches inside the organization reportedly want the Cowboys defense to become a faster, more aggressive, and more physically and far more unpredictable. The franchise believes that if the defense improves significantly, the entire team can once again become a faster and more aggressive and more physical, so far unpredictable. The center of that defensive rebuild continues to be Amika Parson, who remained the emotional leader and superstar of the Cowboys defense. Parsons is still considered one of the most dangerous defensive players in the football because of his explosiveness, speed, versatility, and the ability to completely change the games within a few plays. There are ongoing discussions about a massive new contract extension that could make him one of the highest paid defensive players in the entire NFL history. Cowboys fans view a Parsons as the face of the franchise and believe the future of the defense will evolve around him for many years. So for another huge source of excitement for the Dallas fans, it comes during 2026 NFL Draft. Many analysts around the league praised the Cowboys for having one of the smartest and balanced drafts in the NFL, so their first major selection was a Caleb Down, a highly talented safety whom many experts believed was one of the best defensive players available in the entire of NFL draft this year of 2026 class. Downs has already impressed the coaches with his football intelligence, athleticism, awareness, tackling ability, and leadership qualities despite being a rookie. Inside the organization led by the owner of the Dallas Cowboys, Jerry Jones, there is a growing belief that he could immediately become one of the most impactful young players on the defense. So the Cowboys also selected Malachi Lawrence, an explosive edge rusher with innate speed and pass rushing ability. The Dallas believes Lawrence can become a major weapon alongside Amika Parsons, creating one of the fastest and most dangerous pass rushing combinations in the NFL. So the coaches are reportedly extremely excited about his athleticism and his potential to create a pressure against opposing quarterbacks. Another rookie generating attention is Devin Moore, a talented cornerback who brings a strong athletic ability and versatility to the secondary. The Dallas struggled with injuries and inconsistency in the defensive backfield over the last few seasons, so the organization hopes Amor can help to stabilize that area. Everton was also added to strengthen the defensive line and improve the Cowboys' physical presence in the trenches. On the offensive side of the ball, all eyes remain focused on Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott continues to be one of the most debated quarterbacks in the football, so some fans strongly believe he is capable of leading the Cowboys deep into the playoffs if he has the right support around him. While the others continue to question whether he can truly deliver in the biggest moment. Regardless of the criticism, the Cowboys organization still has confidence in the Dak Prescott and is working hard to surround him with a more offensive weapon than ever before. CeeDee Lamb remained the biggest star on offense and continued to establish himself as one of the top wide receivers in the entire of NFL team. And in the last season, CeeDee Lamb carried a huge portion of the offense and consistently made a game-changing plays. His chemistry with Dak Prescott continued to improve, and many analysts believe he could have another monster season in 2026. The Cowboys have also continued strengthening their receiving corps by adding a more depth and versatility around Lamb. George Pickens is the one of the player creating a major excitement because of his incredible athletics, talent, and ability to make spectacular catches. Many people around the league believe Pickens could become one of the breakout stars of the upcoming season if he performs consistently in the Dallas Cowboys. The running game is another important focus on the Dallas Cowboys entering a new season. Dallas believes Javonte Williams can help to bring a physicality and the balance back to the offense. So our coaches reportedly want more balanced offensive system that does not force Dak Prescott to carry the entire offense alone every week. So a Javonte Williams' ability to break tackles and gain 12 yards could become extremely important in critical situations. Another major priority this offseason has been rebuilding the offensive line. Historically, the Cowboys have been known for having some of the best offensive lines in the football, but injuries, aging players, and inconsistency weakened that unity over the last few years. The organization is now working aggressively to rebuild a strong offensive front capable of protecting Dak Prescott and improving the running game. Many insiders believe that if the offensive line performs well, the entire offense could become one of the most dangerous units in the NFL. So Dallas has also remained inactive free agencies, continuing to explore veteran additions who could bring a leadership and experience into a locker room. Reports suggest the Cowboys are still monitoring several experienced players who may become available before the season begins. The organization appears determined to add a depth and veteran presence in a key position to strengthen the roster for a potential playoff run. A special team remains another area of the strength for the Cowboys, especially because of Brandon Aubrey, who has become one of the most reliable kickers in the NFL. So Brandon Aubrey played a huge role in several Cowboys victories last season. And thanks to his consistency and the long length of accuracy, so many fans were extremely happy when the Dallas decided to secure his future with the franchise. And one of the most encouraging development for the Dallas during off-season workout has been the early performance of the rookie class. A report from inside of the organization indicated that the Caleb Downs has already impressed the coaches with how quickly he learned a defensive system, while a Malachi Lawrence has reportedly displayed explosive athleticism during training sessions. So those early impressions has increased optimism among the fans who believe this rookie class could immediately contribute during 2026 season. Despite all the excitement, there is still enormous pressure surrounding the Cowboys organization. The head coach of the Dallas Cowboys, Mike McCarthy, remains under intense scrutiny because fans expect a really post-season success, not just a regular season win. Many supporters believe the 2026 season could become one of the most important seasons in the recent franchise history because it may determine whether this new direction truly works. As sport media and social platforms debates continue about the whether the Dallas finally has the right combination of the talent, coaching, leadership, and chemistry to compete for a Super Bowl championship. Some analysts believe the Cowboys now possess enough young defensive talent and offensive firepower to become a serious contender in the NFL, while others remain skeptical, arguing that Dallas must finally prove itself in high-pressure playoff situations before anyone can fully trust them again. So, still, hope is growing rapidly among the Cowboys fans between the impressive draft classes, the rebuilding of the defense, and the offensive improvement around the Dak Prescott, and the energy surrounding the franchise. Many fans asking what if all over the games. This is your place for a little conversation, a little opinions, and a little passions for a game. So stay tuned, stay engaged, and most important, stay ready. Because the journey is just getting started and you don't want to miss a single moment. So the off-season is always defining a period for every team in the National Football League, but for the Dallas Cowboys, these moments feels even more critical. As the 2026 NFL Draft started, the franchise found itself standing at crossroads between continuing as a competitive team and finally transforming into a true championship contender. Over the past few seasons, the Cowboys have shown a flashes of brilliance, but they have also struggled with inconsistency, especially in the biggest moments. So that is why this draft is not just another yearly event for the Dallas. It is an opportunity to reshape the identity of the team and build a stronger foundation for the futures. At the heart of the Cowboys' current situation is their quarterback Dak Prescott. Prescott remains one of the most important figures in the franchise, a leader with experience and the ability to guide the offense when everything is functioning properly. However, even the best quarterback in the league cannot succeed without a large support around them. In the recent season, Prescott has faced a pressure due to offensive line that has not been dominant as it once was. Injury urging players and inconsistencies have weakened what used to be one of the strongest units in football. This has had direct impact not only on Prescott's performance but also on the entire of offensive system. The running game is another area where the Dallas Cowboys have experienced a noticeable decline during a prime years of Ezekiel Elliott, and the team had powerful and reliable rushing attacks that could control the tempo of the game. Today, what some level of dominance is missing. While there have been moments of promise, there is no clear long-term solution at the running back position. In the modern NFL, where offensive balance is a key, having a dynamic running back who can both run effectively and contribute in the passing game is essential. This makes the draft perfect opportunity for the Dallas Cowboys to address these needs and inject a new energy into the offense. When it comes to a passing game, the Cowboys are fortunate to have a true star like CeeDee Lamb. CeeDee Lamb has established himself as the one of the top wide receivers in the league, capable of making a big plays and carrying significant portions of the offensive load. However, relying too heavily on a single receiver can make an offense predictable. Defenses can adjust their strategies to limit Lamb's impact, forcing other players to step up. This is why adding another wide receiver through a draft could be a crucial move. A fast and explosive players who can stretch the field would not only complement a Lamb but also create more opportunities for the entire offense. On the defensive side of the ball, the Cowboys have one of the most exciting players in the NFL in the Micah Parsons. Parsons has the ability to change the outcomes of the game with his speed, strength, and versatility, and he is kind of player every team dreams to build around. However, football is a team sport, and even a player of the Parsons caliber cannot do everything alone. The Cowboys' defense, while strong in certain areas, still lacks a depth and consistency in others, and strengthening the defensive line and adding a talent to a secondary could significantly improve the overall performance of the unit. As the NFL draft draws across, the strategy of the Dallas Cowboys become a topic of intense discussions. One passing approach is to focus heavily on the offensive line, selecting a player who can immediately step in and provide protection for Dak Prescott. Another approach would be to prioritize skills positions, such as running back or wide receiver, in order to create a more explosive offense. There is also the option of selecting the best player available regardless of position, strategy that can sometimes lead to unexpected but valuable addition to a team. The Cowboys could also consider trading down in the draft, a move that would allow them to acquire additional picks and build a depth across a multiple position. This approach requires careful planning and clear understanding of the team's long-term goals. While it may not provide an immediate impact from a single star player, it can create more balanced and complete roster over time. Ultimately, the success of this draft will depend on decisions made by the Cowboys front office and coaching staff. So every pick carries a certain level of the risk, but it also represent an opportunity. The difference between good teams and the great ones after comes down to how well franchise can identify and develop talent through the draft. For the Cowboys, this is a chance to address their weaknesses, reinforce their strength, and take significant steps forward. Looking ahead, the impact of the 2026 NFL Draft could shape the future of the Dallas Cowboys for years to come. A successful draft could elevate the team to a new level, turning them into a serious contender capable of making a deep playoff runs. On the other hand, missed opportunity could result in continued frustration and unfulfilled potential. This is what makes the draft such a pivotal moment in the NFL calendar. As fans wait to see how everything unfolds, one thing is certain: the Cowboys have pieces to complete, but they need the right addition to complete the puzzle, and the decision they make in this draft will not only influence the upcoming season but also defining the direction of the franchise moving forward. Thompson can make sure everybody is one of the same page. He is a young, turning 28 in July, but has an experience to help a secondary grow in a Dallas Cowboys. Next is Kobe Durant. Kobe Durant is joining a Dallas Cowboy on 1 year deal which will worth about $6 million. Durant started 39 of 61 games in his 4 years with the Lambs and they recorded 7 interceptions and returning 2 for touchdowns. Between 5 and 11 foot and 181 pounds, he is not a large cornerback, but he has shown the ability to match up well with a bigger receivers. The Cowboys have questions on the position with Dallon Bland and Shavon Levers Jr. and Corin Carson playing through injuries last year, and the Bland is rehabbing from off-season foot surgery. The Cowboys hope Rivera will make a secondary year jump after missing the first 9 games last season, recovering from a torn ACL. This means Dallon was on rehabilitation and recovering from ACL injury. Durant has some experience playing in a slot, which could be a bonus for the Cowboys, but his addition would not prevent them from selecting a corners with one of their first 2-round picks in upcoming NFL draft mocks. Then also, the Sam Williams, he is the defensive end in re-upping on 1 year deal, which will worth about $3 million US dollar. The former Cowboys second round picks return on low cost and low risk move. He had 1 sack last season after coming back from a torn ACL and starting 5 of 17 games. He has credited with 38 tackles and 25 pressures and 6 tackles for loss, a fumble recovery and forced fumble. He had 8.5 sacks in the first 2 years before the injury. So perhaps a change in a scheme under a Packer can up his pass rusher production in 2026. While the trade of Rashan Gary means more for the defense, signing Williams shouldn't take the Cowboys out of adding more help in free agencies or using one of their top picks on pass rusher in the NFL draft. So, Dallas Cowboys also agreed 1 year deal with a maximum of $3 million with a former Charger, Otito Agbonia. Defensive tackles doesn't seem like a major need when the Cowboys already have Quinnen Williams, Ken Duck, and Salmon Thomas. Also plus 2025 draft picks J. Toia. But Agonia can play a role. A Packer wants to keep a fresh rotation of linemen in his defense. Ogbonia was limited to 9 games last season because of injury, but he had 14 pressures and a half sack. He has started 20 career games and 81 tackles. Between 6 foot and 4 and 320 pounds, he has a size to help a bolster on the front. PG Lockey, the former Broncos safety, will join also Dallas with 1-year contract. Catch up on NFL free agencies, top remaining players, and grading deals, ranking 32 classes, and lingering questions, and every team signing more reactions. After agreeing to deal with a Thompson on Monday, a Lockey is a second safety to be brought aboard. The Cowboys reworked the deal for one of the last year's startup, Malik Hooker, and have Max Kisbell on roster. So the safety group looks filled out. Lockey started 26 games in 6 years in Denver, and he had an interception in the Broncos playoff win versus a Buffalo in this year in January. If the Cowboys believe a Thompson can play the Nicholas spot full-time, that opens up opportunities for a Lockey who has 174 tackles and 7 tackles for a loss in his career. At the very least, he brings a veteran depth and also can be a core special teamers in the Dallas Cowboys. The Cowboys didn't really need another quarterback with last year's loan. So Dak Prescott and Joe Milton III and Will Glee under contract, but they brought on fourth arm Howard, who ended last season with Philadelphia after spending time with Minnesota, made the first start of his career against the Cowboys in 2022, while with Washington, and got the wins. For his career, he has recorded 22 touchdowns passes and 23 interceptions. So can he compete for the backup jobs held by Milton last season? Is he just another arm for the off-season program? It's a fly on a guy, and Cowboys would like to see what he has. There is no really risk here. Hennessy essentially replaces a block Hoffman, who has been valuable reserve central and guards the past 2 seasons, and has not tended as a restricted free agents. Hennessy has started 24 games, including the games in Atlanta. He has a third-round pick out of Temple for Atlanta in 2025 and played for the Falcons and San Francisco the past 6 seasons. The Cowboys needed interior offensive line depth and have a TG Bass who started late last season at the left guards and is restricted as a free agent. The Cowboys tendered a bus at a second-round level of $6 million. Derrick Henry also, which have been already signed a new contract with the Dallas Cowboys. Let's talk with what will help the Dallas Cowboys in this season. The former Rams signed 1-year millions contract that could max about. The Cowboys believe that a team can never have enough corners. They added a Kobe Durant in the first week of free agents. They re-signed a lady Setward and Kendrick, who has 3 interceptions in 47 games with the Rams, and Seahawks in his career, which have a chance to earn a roster spot this summer but look for the Cowboys to add at least one more cornerback in a draft, perhaps in the first round. The former Santa Claus is joining a Dallas on 1 year deal contract is a Jonathan Bullard. Bullard is another rotational piece for defensive line. He is entering his 11th season and has played for 6 teams, including the New Orleans Saints last year. But he has a background with a new defensive line coach Marcus Dixon. Having spent 3 seasons with the Minnesota Vikings,